really looking forward to, because what I like is obviously Liverpool are great here, but Arsenal are not a team that stay on the back foot. They want to be aggressive.
Top of the table clash is coming your way in the English Premier League. This is all about Liverpool versus Arsenal. And guess what? Premier 7 would like to have a say on this. So make we see. Wagwan. Premier 7. On Saturday, December the 23rd, 2023, there is going to be a game of excitement in the English Premier League. One that will either make you happy, one will either make you sad, joyous, or aggressive. This game will be like a farewell game as it relates to the end of a year in regards to a very crucial game in the English Premier League. And this is the top of the table big clash that will be between Liverpool and Arsenal. In this video, I want to go into a few key things as it relates to the key players, the recent forms of both teams, and the potential tactical formation or lineup of both teams. Then again, this video is not only for me to enjoy, but also for you as the supporting fans of Premier 7 to share your views, have your say. And then again, if you're new, please subscribe. And if you are an existing supporter, you know what to do. So with no further ado, the main point for this video is all about Liverpool versus Arsenal preview, top of the table clash. I had to pause for a while to reflect and reminisce on the past for which it was all Manchester City, Liverpool in recent years. And way back then, let's say in the 2000s, it was Arsenal versus Manchester United. Now things have changed this year for the new season, and Liverpool and Arsenal have been performing outstanding in the English Premier League. Then again, for the fans who are supporting these two teams, this video should be a must watch because you want to know what is taking place for your teams. And even if you're not a supporter of both teams here discussed, then absolutely a lot of persons, if not everyone in the world who knows about football, wouldn't want to ignore the English Premier League. So I know that Arsenal is the team that more so some persons would say is the team to beat because of the fact that they won their last game, put it that way. But that could be like a short conclusion because other persons would say, despite Arsenal winning their last game, Liverpool regular play of how they approach the football is what can determine them finishing strong and winning the Premier League. But we won't go into the recent forms at this point. I want to dive right into something that is very important and that relates to the key players for both teams that I want for you to pay attention to. Now, let me just kick things off with Liverpool because the game will be played at Anfield and Liverpool is a team for discussion first. So, on the I won't say the table, but by way of sofa scores, it is showing us here that there are several players to your right. And the top three players to watch out for in this case would be Mohamed Salah, right? Virgil van Dijk, and Trent Alexander Arnold. I'm working with the top three players. So Mohamed Salah has been relentless in terms of scoring goals for Liverpool. He scores goals for fun. He is that person who is right behind Erling Haaland as it relates to banging goals. Salah form has remained, and remember, Salah has scored more than 200 goals for Liverpool entirely. He is one of those top players in the Premier League that when his time comes, he deserves a massive farewell. At a rating of 7.69, it shows that Salah is the talisman for Liverpool. Outstanding in terms of his approach, outstanding in terms of how he's useful in that Liverpool squad. If you are watching Liverpool playing against Arsenal or any other team and there's no Mohamed Salah, then you can say, well, we can have a chance to beat this team. Or you could say, if you're a weak team, you may say that then, even though there could be other players who have class in terms of scoring goals, it would be better if Salah would be available to beat us. All right, following up on the second player, I would say Virgil van Dijk, and that is what the statistical evidence shows here. A ratings of 7.49. Virgil van Dijk is the rock, the wall of the backline. A leader by example, a man that takes his game seriously, who is not afraid to organize his players, keep them in the game, and fight until the last. Van Dijk has been very, very impactful in a Liverpool shirt from his arrival, and there's nothing that you could say that Liverpool doesn't deserve a player like Virgil van Dijk. He has been one of the best defenders in recent years, and there has not been anybody in a Liverpool shirt since his arrival as a centre back who is close to his level. Matip isn't close to Van Dijk's level. Kunate isn't close to Van Dijk's level. You get what I'm saying here? So this guy is the main reason why even Liverpool has been winning games because he's very solid as a centre back, huge as a unit, quick, good in the air, good in terms of reading the line, whereas he can throw opposition teams off in terms of the line of offside. So he's a tactical genius, a captain by example, and this is the person for which you wouldn't want to face if you're going to play in a big clash. Next on the list, Trent Alexander Arnold. He is a person who is now the vice captain of the Liverpool team, who has been absolutely wondrous. The Liverpool fans love this guy relentlessly. And if you believe what I'm saying here, smash a like on the video. This guy is young, he's leading by example, he steps up to the plate, and when Van Dijk is available, he takes the captain armband. Very good in terms of his attacking prowess. One of the best finishers when it comes on to free kicks. He can play even in that position of being a midfielder. That shows versatility, that shows class, that shows that club can become more selective or more open, I should say, in regards to how he wants to play. If he wants to change his formation or his tactics, then a trend is very important because he doesn't have to play at right back at all times, but also in the midfield. A very wonderful and energetic player whenever it comes down to delivery. Long ball, whipping ball inside of the box. Barcelona can tell you how he destroyed them in that Champions League semi-finals. A rating of 7.41, a top player to watch out for. All right. So In that case, I spoke about the top players for Liverpool: Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent. Now, I want to jump over to the other side of the pitch and give you the details on the top three players for Arsenal. And here we go. First on the list is Bukayo Saka, 7.71 ratings. One of the youngest player in football right now, but he has been that lifeline in Arsenal games, regardless if it is home or away. A person that is energetic, a person who knows how to convert, destroy, and upset oppositions. I can remember that game for which he scored against Manchester United, drifting from his right to the left and the ball across David De Gea into the back of the net. He have that style of play for which is very tricky, as you should know, or if you do not know, then listen. It's very tricky. He knows how to make passes. He knows how to run. He knows when to do those two things mentioned. And if you do not restrain him, then he will fill up your nets with a lot of goals. If he's not the person scoring, then he's the person who is assisting. Good in terms of corners, good in terms of ball control, have pace, have that mentality of a gunner, right? The rating is 7.71. And for a youngster who I think will stay at Arsenal for several more seasons, he will be that talisman that Arsenal will truly deserve to have and could help them even at this stage to even catapult higher in winning the Premier League, even though it is still early days. Next on the list, Martin Odegaard, 7.51 ratings. Wasn't that person was given the opportunity or wasn't groomed well at Real Madrid. That was good amount of years before, but now he's that pivotal player as a captain in an Arsenal shirt. This is not his first season for which he has impressed. I see him as a tactician in terms of his weight on the ball, in terms of how he passes the ball. His distribution is absolutely remarkable. Top shelf. He isn't an average midfield player. He's a very good creative player. He's a creator of chances in terms of scoring goals, and he really knows how to poach that ball in the back of the net. He's a Norwegian, so I think he has that energy or that connection as to how Erling Haaland would poach a ball. So, you know, I mean, having a player of such in your squad, in an Martin Odegaard, sometimes I see him as one of the best midfield players, if not the best in the Premier League, as that attacking player. Some persons would consider him as a central midfield player, but he's very attacking. Whenever he's on the pitch, he's silky. His passes are amazing. They're well directed. You cannot read and truly study how he will be even delivering a ball. You just have to watch him and try your best not to concede a free kick because he's that good. Now, the next person on the list, number three, is Declan Rice. Persons would say is overrated. That is for some persons to say. But for me, here on Premier 7, I don't think Declan Rice is overrated. Declan Rice, as a person who is less than 26 years of age, if I'm incorrect with the age, you can correct me. I'm down for that. Very impressive. I think if you should draw a triangle from the backline to the CDM position in the Premier League, Arsenal would be number one or two behind Man City. There's no other team in the Premier League, to me, that has a solid base like Arsenal and Man City. And when it comes down to CDM, Declan Rice with a 7.36 rating is not the same as Rodri, but he can grow to even become closer or better? That's a question as well in your mind. Like you're saying, no way, or you're saying, really? That is what I'm saying here. A Declan Rice in your squad, he used to lead West Ham as a youngster. And that shows that he has that potential not to be a fake player in terms of how he approaches this game, but he's very professional, very direct, very impactful, and he can even score goals from outside the box as well. A player that you can rely on to convert and to score goals, to take away the ball from opposition players, to let them be scared of trying to pass him because his tackles are so precise and so clean. If I should compare then him with a Thomas Partey, Thomas Partey is a different brand of player. But right now, he is the main reason for Arsenal to be having a strong base alongside Saliba and Gabriel. So, with that out of the way, where I have spoken about the key players, I went with three for Arsenal as well. I went with Saka, Odegaard, and Declan Rice. So far, to me, the best three, or let me not say the best three, but if I should choose which pair or which team I would go for to say which three are the best in totality, then certainly Liverpool leads in that case. And maybe if we should even conclude by now to say, based on those three players each, who will win the league, not the league, but who will win that fixture, then you would say, or I would conclude to say, Liverpool. Because Salah is better than Saka, right? And you can have your opinion as well. Van Dijk and Odegaard isn't the same, but who would you choose to have in your side more? A Van Dijk and a Declan Rice, to be compared to a Trent, then that is up for discussion. So that is just something to pick your brain a little and let you try to think who would be the best option. But for me, in that case, I would say Liverpool. All right. So the recent forms of these two teams aren't bad. And if I should just say the last games that were being played by Liverpool, of course, Liverpool was outstanding. They defeated West Ham recently, right? By way of that 5-1. And in the Premier League, they drew against Manchester United. A lot of persons would be saying that that game that they played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup should be an open eye indication to Arsenal that they should pay attention to see that this isn't going to be a game for them to just walk in the park and win. Even though Arsenal last two games was a 2-0 victory against Brighton in the Premier League. Havertz and Jesus scored. Jesus scored in first, Havertz scored in second. A Brighton team that is very tough to break down. And in the Champions League, it was like a 1-1 draw between themselves and PSV. But then again, teams do make tactical changes. Remember, Arsenal is up there in terms of where they are in the UEFA Champions League. So they wouldn't go and use their best of the best players in that game. So then again, it is up for a clash of two top class teams because we cannot just pull recent conclusion by way of games and say, oh, Liverpool will win because of this, Arsenal will win because of this. You can, but how deep can you go to discuss to say that that will happen on that day? Because these two teams are in electric form. All right. Now, with that being said, I just want to give some information in regards to some players which are injured, and it can affect both teams' season. Liverpool, is a team that is performing exceptionally well, but they need the depth. And when players like Jota is injured, Matip, even Thiago, even Robertson, McAllister, it can be very darting, whereas it can affect them. Because what if a key player should get injured? For example, a Salah, just saying, you need a Jota to come on board. Or Klopp would have to make a tactical change to fit in a Jota if Jota was fit. So that would be saying that the team is getting a bit trimmed in terms of having those players that you can rotate with. Even Gravenberch was injured, but more so he can have a chance to come back and play from the bench against Arsenal. Arsenal, in terms of their injury records, no. Vieira is injured. Tamiaso, Thomas Partey, El Neni, Yorian Timber. Yorian Timber is so away from the game with his injury concern that there's no return date scheduled for him. But then again, in terms of having an impact as to which team have the players who would be more useful that are injured to be Liverpool. So in this case now, Arsenal have the advantage. So remember, for key players, I said Liverpool I would go for because Salah and Van Dijk, and the balance with Trent and Declan Rice is up for discussion. But in this case, for injured players who would have been in a better position, I would say Arsenal because the key players are more so available, right? So with that being said, I just want to go into my last point to at least shed some light on how these two teams would line up. So Liverpool normally goes for the 4-3-3 formation, right? A formation for which is recognized to be very useful and very well known in terms of the gegenpress, in terms of how clubs want to play football. So on the other hand, you can actually say that Liverpool is going to play that formation, and the lineup with the players would be Alisson in goal, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Shimakas because Robertson is injured, Endo, possibly Curtis Jones because of no Gravenberch, Soboslai who scored a poacher against West Ham, Salah, Nunes, and Diaz. That is the lineup. You know, these players did not score a goal against Manchester United and they drew. It has been a very long, long time that Liverpool hasn't scored at Anfield and even not been able to concede. Well, not concede, but not been able to gain 3 points. Now, for Arsenal, they'll be coming with a very strong squad because the fact that Arsenal is this team that would more so go for um, uh, well, let me just discuss the formation first before I talk about the players. Arsenal is a team that is similar to Liverpool in regards to their selection of players, in regards to even their formation. You know, Arteta is the type of coach who likes to play the 4-4-3 as well. So, I mean, it is not different from how the formation or tactics would be in regards to the lineups. Formation. Let me say formation, not lineups, but the formation. So, then again, let's talk about the players for Arsenal. In goal, I think Ramsdale is still being cheated. He has not been given that chance. Raya will be in goal, possibly, because he was the main man that Arteta wanted. So Ryan goal, Ben White at right back, Saliba Gabriel, Zinchenko left back. So that would be a very solid base. Midfield, Rice, Odegaard, Havertz. Havertz has picked up form recently. Remember, he scored against Brighton in the Premier League in that 2-0 victory. He scored the last goal. Up front, the regular, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. I mean, this game will be a tough game. It will be like a clash of champions in this recent time. Because remember in the past, I mentioned that um, Liverpool would have been fighting against Man City and Arsenal be fighting against Manchester United. No, it is Liverpool versus Arsenal. So the thing is, it is going to be a game for us to try our best to enjoy. 1 point is separating both teams, and I would really and truly love for this game to be one of excitement. So, just to reconfirm, the topic for today was basically Liverpool versus Arsenal in the form of a preview, top of the table clash. It is now my time to go, but before I go, I spoke about several topics. The key players, the recent forms, players who were also injured was mentioned, and the potential formation or tactical setup, right? So in that case, what would you say? Who would you choose as the winner of this big game? I won't say anything because the fat lady will decide. But I gave you like within the scenarios or the different chapters that Liverpool won in that area, Arsenal won in that area. But then again, out of three, only two parts I could discuss to have a say on. I discussed the three, but I have 2 points of which I could conclude to say Liverpool won that one and Arsenal won that one. So that is 1-1. Will that be the scoreline this Saturday? We never know, but premiers have been brought across the point on the topic. So it's your time as supporting fans to share your views, and we will have a talk later on. All right, so take care and goodbye for now.